which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in.
Right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Everything changed at that point. They went and got Jonquil Jones, and they really had that triple threat monster team. That second year they lost in the WNBA Finals, 3-1 against the Las Vegas Aces. Year 3, they finally get over the top hump. You can question whether they should have won the title with that foul call late in Game 5 that sent Brianna Stewart to the foul line.
Betting above the rim, only.
And welcome in. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid on a marvelous Monday. Scott Wetzel, Gabriel Morency for the next 3.5 hours or so. We'll take you to the end of the Monday Night Football game. Pretty good one. Kansas City at Jacksonville. Should be a lot of fun. Got Major League Baseball playoffs. So continuing here, can the Phillies and Cubbies prevent from falling down 2-0 with history says if you do, you're basically done. You'd be amazed at the numbers that I'll give you here in a little bit. So we got some football. We got some baseball. We'll get to it all. First up, though, it's game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, I'm still recovering from a absolutely lethal Sunday in the National Football League, Scott. Watching my Buffalo Bills get slapped around by the Patriots in their last visit to Ralph Wilson Stadium was a pretty sickening feeling. How about the fact that the Toronto Blue Jays scored more runs than 4 points, four teams did in the National Football League yesterday? Arizona gives away the game and kicks everybody out of their survivor leagues, the people that were still alive. So a lot of stuff going on, but the Dodgers just broke through. Dodgers are up 1-0. Really close play at the plate. Both these pitchers have been basically unhittable tonight. Dodgers playing a little bit of small ball, and Hernandez beat a throw to the plate just barely, but we got a 1-0 game right now, and the bases are loaded for the Dodgers, and there's one out. Yeah. Andy Pages is up right now, so we'll keep our eye on this, Scott, but NHL hockey starts tomorrow. Crazy weekend in college football. Penn State loses to UCLA. What a wild weekend.
Yeah, crazy for sure. Texas looks like they're done. You think about the teams that, and we'll break it all down, but the teams that might not make the playoffs this year, Texas, Penn State, Clemson, Notre Dame, all these teams with 2 losses, all on the outside looking in. It's amazing for college football. But we'll break it all down over the next 2.5 plus hours, 3 hours, whatever it takes to get the Monday Night Football game. And first up, though, the opening kickoff plays that Gabe and I are going to put in, and we'll follow throughout the day. Not that we won't put in others, but these are the main plays for tonight. I'll go first, Gabe. Jacksonville, I'll use the first Monday Night Football game. I like Jacksonville tonight. Not in love with it, I must say. Who really wants to bet against Kansas City, especially with Worthy back? We saw the difference he made last week with Kansas City. But I'll take the Jag. This is their Super Bowl. No big deal for KC. They're 1-5 against the spread last 6 Monday Night Football games. But this is Jacksonville's Super Bowl. So give me the Jags. I'll take the 3.5, hoping they keep it at least close.
Scott, once again, we are on opposite sides tonight. And let me just note that the Dodgers just broke it open. Will Smith with a two-out bases loaded hit that scores 2 runs. We have a 3-0 game for the Dodgers right now. Will Smith came into the game as a pinch hitter. They're missing his bat in this lineup. So Will Smith singles, they score 2 more. We got a 3-0 game right now in the top of the 7th inning. But we're going to be on opposite sides of this football game. Scott, give me the Kansas City Chiefs. They seem like they've turned the corner once again to me. The Jacksonville Jaguars they're 3-1, but let's look at who they played. All right, San Francisco have a depleted lineup. They beat the Carolina Panthers. They lost to the Bengals and Jake Browning, right? And they beat the Texans. Like, they really haven't played anybody yet. And Trevor Lawrence is really struggling, guys. He's 31st in the National Football League. He's completing like 59% of his passes. His passes average like 5.5 yards a completion. They're winning games despite Trevor Lawrence's mediocre play. I think it catches up to them tonight. And, oh, yeah, by the way, the Jacksonville Jaguars have not won a Monday Night Football game in 14 years. They haven't won on Monday Night Football since 2011.
Wow. I haven't been on there too often, but still, that's a pretty good number.
No, it's not like they're on all the time.
Yeah. But it is his birthday. There's a lot of us out there. Now, I like to play it in hockey and in basketball way more than I do football or baseball. But it is Trevor Lawrence's birthday today. If you want to play a little karma, a little whatever in the air, and Trevor, is extra pumped up for tonight. Whether he plays well or not, I do think Brian Thomas, these are my 2 next favorite ones. Brian Thomas, wide receiver for the Jags. He's their main weapon, right? Over 56.5 yards. Not that he needs a coming out party, but as you mentioned, they're not on national TV too often, right? Outside of the London games and who's getting up at 6:30 in the morning on the West Coast to watch Jacksonville football. So I would be real surprised if Thomas Jr. didn't have a monster game. It's a low number, 56.5. They don't throw it to him as much, or his numbers aren't as good this year as they were last year, his rookie season game. But I think he will have a nice. I would even adjust it. I would go over 75. I think he's going to get 100 yards tonight. I think he's going to almost double his number.
My second pick will be the Kansas City Chiefs tease to the over. I'm not in really love with the total of this game. It probably gets there, right? It's right there in the mid-40s, right at the 45.5. So I don't, but I don't love the over, and I don't really want to bet the under of this game. So then you get into the debate. All right, I think if the Chiefs lose this game, they're not going to get blown out. If they do lose this game, they'll lose a really close game. So I'm getting plus 3.5 with the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are the team that I would rather have the Chiefs plus 3.5 than the Jags plus 10.5. So I want the Chiefs. Then I'm like, all right, over under. It's a reasonable enough total that we can get to 41 points in this football game. At least, you figure in that range. So give me the Chiefs tease to the over. I've got to get to 39 points. Chiefs plus 3.5 over 39. 7-point teaser.
All right, not bad. I'll go Xavier Worthy, all right, the main guy for Kansas City. He's back. Right now, FanDuel's got it at 57.5. I saw it earlier today at 59.5, so I'll just say 59.5. Maybe that's where it is in other places. But I'd be, again, real surprised if he doesn't get 60 yards in receiving. I don't think it'll necessarily be a high-scoring up and down the field game, but I think we're going to get, I think the over-under, the 45 is a pretty decent number. And if that's the case, you're telling me that, he's not going to get 60 yards in receiving. That's why I say if I was really just only playing 2, it would be Thomas over receiving yards and Worthy over receiving yards for KC.
I agree with you with the Xavier Worthy play, and I'm betting him as well. I'm a big Worthy fan. He's a productive player. When he touches the ball, he makes plays, and he's so fast. He's difficult to defend. As long as Travis Kelce doesn't hurt him, he'll be fine on the field. But so you got Worthy. I got a 59.5 right now, unfortunately. I wish I had a 57.5. I'm on the same play. Give me Worthy over 59.5. He had 83 yards last week in his return, and he was targeted 8 times. He also carried the football twice. They like to get him a couple of carries as well, guys, right? So you can look at the rushing receiving yards if you're into that, or rush yards for Xavier Worthy. But I'm with you, Scott. 57.5, even better, but under 60, more reasonable for a guy that I expect to get into the 80s. If not 90s tonight. Let's go Xavier Worthy over receiving yards.
Yeah, Dodgers scored again, by the way, 4-0, still batting top of the seventh. What is the carbon copy, basically, of yesterday's game, or 2 days ago's game number 1. So, yeah, and I would go higher. The same thing with Thomas for me. Justin, you want to go over 85, 90, these websites that offer these adjusted lines? I think he's a good candidate to have a monster game. Last one, I'll use baseball. I'll take the Milwaukee Brewers minus 130, 135, depending on where you do shopping against the Cubs. They're going bullpen by committee, which is just crazy when you take a step back, Gabe, and you say, this was the best team in baseball. It's game number 2 of their postseason, and they go in bullpen by committee. So, but they have the 5th best bullpen in baseball, so maybe it's not a bad thing. Give me the Brewers minus the 135 or so.
I'll get to my baseball pick later, and let's keep it on a Xavier Worthy train right here now, Scott. Xavier Worthy doesn't have a touchdown yet, right? He got knocked out of the game early, and he came back last week, and he didn't score a touchdown, but he had 83 yards. Nice price at plus 160 for Xavier Worthy to get in the end zone tonight, guys. So give me Xavier Worthy to get in the end zone. For the record, so I like Xavier Worthy, and I like Etienne to get into the end zone as well. He's only plus 115, though, but I do think he's going to score a touchdown. He scored a touchdown in the last 3 to 4 games.
Yeah, not bad. I like that on Worthy. Like I said, I think Worthy and Thomas both have big games. So I got a few others we'll throw at you when we come back. In-game live, game day just underway right here on the grid.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
What worries me, for the future, for the rest of this season for the 49ers is Christian McCaffrey, because all these other guys are out. This guy is getting more workload than anybody else in the NFL. The catches, the carries, the blocking, the chip blocks, the protection. He is just being worked over, and I don't think that is, real good for the 49ers.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Getting a lot of optimism here, which I don't know about. This isn't a 21-year-old football player, a devastating knee injury that basically blew, the kneecap and also multiple ligaments. And I was like, surgery, awesome, be back for next year. He might be back for next year, but the Tyreek Hill we're used to, Joe, electric on the field where nobody can catch him. People are going to be catching him now, Joe.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1, getting set for Monday Night Football. So we got the opening plays, as we like to call it, the opening kickoff. I got a few others here that we throw a couple shekels on. We'll have some fun throughout the evening. I'm going to use each team to score 2 rushing touchdowns and 2 passing touchdowns. 50-1 we're going to need a high-scoring game. I get that, but both teams can run the ball. Both teams can throw the ball. I do think we're going to get some yards. So, you know what? For 50-1, I'll put a couple shekels on that game. Each team to score a touchdown and a field goal each half. That's only 13-1, but I'll still do it. It's one of those that I play all the time. And then our correct score, got to go back to that. I'll take Jacksonville winning 27-21. That pays 175-1. You put $5 on it, you'll win yourself $875.
That does feel like another game tonight, Scott, that feels like it could be a 27-21 game. Let me throw out the long field goal prop. We're going to play it tonight with Butker in the house. And don't forget, guys, that Jag kicker hit like a 66-yarder in the preseason this year, right? It's 50.5 tonight. So we're going to jump in on the long field goal prop over 50.5. And I'm running out of time here, so the game's going to kick off any second. I got to do a quick final score here quickly. I'm going to say not 27. I like your 27-21, but I think it'll be a little, let me see. Let me punch it in, actually. You know what else I'm going to play? I'm going to play, I just put this in right now, Scott. Well, I load in my final score prop. Over 256.5 yards for Mahomes. The Jags, you can throw on the Jags. Their secondary has been giving up a lot of yards through the air. I think Mahomes, and now with Worthy back and all the other weapons that they have, I think Mahomes will have some success through the air today.
Yeah. And they've had difficulty running. I got Pacheco on my fantasy team. Well, he's gotten like next
They
to
don't
nothing.
really run, Scott. They don't even try to, really, to be honest with you. The only time the Chiefs run, you'll notice, is inside the 5-yard line, right? Like they don't, they'll run the ball once or twice on a drive as a token. Let's give Mahomes a rest or something. But you'll notice they'll move the ball down the field, but when they get it around the 5, they like to bring Kareem Hunt in, and he'll punch it into the end zone. But they really don't attempt to run the ball all that often, the Chiefs.
It's amazing. It's almost like they got to justify Hunt being on the roster for all his difficulties and issues off the field. So let's give him a whole bunch of touchdowns so it shows like, okay, we made the right.
But he's one of those guys, Scott, that's like Joe Mixon. Is he great? No, but they're good getting into the end zone, bro. Like, you know what I mean? There's just some dudes. Yeah, he does. Like, it's like, he's not the biggest dude, but he gets in there. Like Montgomery's like that, right? Montgomery won't be stopped, bro. Montgomery will run over 6 people on the lines to get into the end zone. And that's why they bring him in all the time. It's like, he's going to score. Like, he won't get stopped, right? A lot of these backs are good, but they don't have that. You need to have that killer thug instinct in you at the goal line. You know what I mean? You got people trying to kill you. It's good to be a tough guy when you're on the goal line, Scott. It's good to be a bad person. You know what I'm saying? They need a tough guy in there sometimes.
You do, because as I told you, it's 9. It really is. It's 9 on 11. I explained that to people, and you're like, "Wow, you know what? You're right. I never thought about that." But the quarterback's not blocking. The guy with the running, guy with the ball's not blocking, right? So you only have 9 blockers against 11 defenders. So the guys are all scrunched up in the middle. So you got to have some toughness to get into the end zone. Unlike that moat from the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. Oh my goodness, what a disgrace! Well, we'll get into it, but what an absolute! I see a video. I swear to God, I would pick him off the team.
I see a video of Gannon actually punched him on the sideline, which I'm surprised isn't being talked about. Yeah, there's a video of it. Yeah.
I watched Gannon's post-game presser from yesterday, and unlike what I saw watching the game, where he just sits there stone-faced like just a white wall, just duh, you could tell he was mad at the presser. He wouldn't go off. But you know what, Gabe? He really should. He should take, I said this on my podcast, he should take one for the team because this is happening every week now. Now it's to the point where I'm blaming the coaches because if you see this guy do this time after time after time again, not this one particular player, but players, then it's up to the head coach to tell the team, you know what? All other head coaches should go to all their players and say, you run to the back of the end zone. All right, I don't care what you do, what dance you do, what choreograph, whatever, but you run to the back of the end zone before you celebrate, not the front. And when it happens all the time, sooner or later you got to start blaming the head coach for not reminding these guys about this stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand why players do it. It's a modern NFL player thing, and it goes to show their mentality that they're already thinking about the celebration before they've actually scored. And there is the act like you've been there before. I don't mind, what it is, Scott, just quite frankly, they want to look cool, right? They want to get to the end zone and look cool. And You know, it's like the flipping the bat after a home run, so to speak, but it is unacceptable, and it could end up costing them a playoff spot, right? If you end up missing the playoffs by a game, you could look back on that, but it's hard. What are you going to do? I mean, it's almost like telling your kids, don't play in traffic, right? You don't think you have to tell them, don't drop the ball as you're going into the end zone.
The end zone.
Like, you figure you wouldn't have to tell them that. So we should note the Jags got the ball first, and they basically went 3 and out. So Kansas City now have the ball, and they've got to go like 98 yards. They got pinned back pretty deep here, but the Chiefs have the football right now. And so we can still get our first touchdown score in. And it's weird. We talk about it, Scott. There's certain teams that are difficult from a prop perspective. The Chiefs being one of them. Mahomes will throw it to anybody in the end zone. They run weird plays from the 1 and 2 yard line off him, where when they think they're going to run it, he does one of these sidearm passes, flips to somebody that you don't like. Noah Gray with the touchdown, right? Like, Kelsey is too old now, Scott. He's not like a touchdown machine anymore. So he's not an automatic, and he was the second choice. He was the first choice on the Chiefs to score a touchdown. He had the shortest odds tonight to score a touchdown after E10 tonight. Like, really? Really? Okay, so you take him out of it. Let's get to the running back, Scott. I don't know. They always give it to Hunt. They don't give it to Pacheco. You and I talked about it. They didn't give it to Pacheco when the kid played in his hometown on Sunday Night Football from the 1 yard line.
At the Meadowlands.
So I can't take him to score. I'm like, man, they don't give it to him when the guy played at Rutgers and he grew up 20 minutes down the street from the stadium. Damn. So no, they ain't giving it to him. Then I'm like, I don't know. Okay, so give me James Worthy. Old school Scott. James Worthy. Give me Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy, plus 900. First touchdown.
Not bad.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. 5th worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins, who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, did you see Juan Soto's great season?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like, I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll tell you another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. So we are underway. Chiefs get the ball for the first time. They're right around midfield. I must say, for as good as Kansas City is, Gabe, Scott and Gabe, our number one, they have to. I don't have the numbers. They have to lead the league in illegal procedures, lining up off sides, not lining up the right way. You know, that one offensive tackle who's always lined up in the backfield, because they had another, they wiped out a nice little 6-7 yard game by my guy Pacheco because they had a legal procedure. So it's just, it is amazing.
Strange for an Andy Reid coach team.
Yeah. I mean, you would think he would have the discipline.
I think they often have a lot of new guys on the field, like with the Chiefs. They haven't had a continuous lineup really throughout this season. They're really not that good, to be honest with you, right? I think there's a lot of teams in the NFL like that. The Buffalo Bills. I warned people going into the game last night, even though I thought the Bills were going to win the game, but I basically said, look at the Bills' season this year. They were down big to the Ravens. The Ravens are terrible. They beat the Jets. The Jets are terrible. They beat the Miami Dolphins. All right, so what? They didn't even cover in these games. They didn't cover against the Dolphins. They didn't cover against the Saints. They played down a level of competition, and it caught up to them. Like, they were kind of a soft 4-0. They're like a college football team. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, who have you played? It's like, all right, it's sort of like we'll find out this week with Missouri. Right? And I like this Missouri team. But Missouri are undefeated. You're 5-0. Who have you played? You played Kansas, UMass. You played a bunch of cupcakes to start the year. Let's be real. The Central Arkansas of the world. Now you're hosting Alabama. We'll find out if you're real. I think they are for real. But they're going to have to prove it this Saturday.
Yeah. I'll say this about the AFC, right? We thought it was a great conference, but in reality, at least from this point, maybe things change and guys come back and everything. But you said if Buffalo's got flaws, the Ravens are just a mess. And who knows, Lamar with hamstring injuries, they don't come back in a week or so from hamstring injuries. They could be a lost cause. Bungles are a lost cause. Denver's okay. Chargers aren't what we thought they would be. The door is being left open. I hate to say it, Gabe, because I think everyone's sick of them, but the door is being left open for Kansas City. Yeah. I mean, if they get Worthy back now, they get Rashee Rice back in a few weeks, and it's like, okay, we gave you 6 weeks for someone to emerge out of the AFC.
Spot you to go 6-0 and build up a lead on us for home field and all that. They didn't exactly.
And you did.
I'm not going to write the Bills off now because of one loss, right? But it's a concern. They're constantly flat, Scott. There's no emotion. Like, the crowd's all fired up, but they're not. They were flat against the Dolphins. They were flat against the Saints. You're flat. It's like, guys, you're playing all these home games, and now you're going to have to go on the road eventually. But with that being stated, I know the Bills well, and this is their MO, Scott. They generally go 3-1 every month, which was good for 12-4 before, right? 16, 17, whatever, which is pretty good. That's what they do. They win 3 games, they lose a game, they win another 3 games, they lose a game, rinse and repeat. This time they happen to win 4. And they get the Falcons. So I expect the Bills to bounce back. They'll be in a bad mood. You got a doubleheader next week. Buffalo, doubleheader on Monday Night Football actually again next week, guys.
Yeah.
And good ones, unlike last week. Buffalo Bills, Atlanta Falcons, Chicago Bears, Washington Commanders.
Yeah. And we have the game over in Germany. So we only had 6 1:00 games, or early games, depending on where you live, early games this week, and we're only going to have 6 again next week. Sometimes we have
Denver.
9.
Yeah, Denver going to the Jets. Denver's one team that could start to get better, Scott. There's a lot of hype about them coming into the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Big win yesterday. Yeah, big win yesterday against Philadelphia, because they can be good. We expect them to be good. But you are right. When you look at the landscape of what the AFC was predicted and thought to be coming into the year, Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and company are a non-factor. The Baltimore Ravens are basically a non-factor right now. People wanted to anoint the Chargers. Chargers are the Chargers. They're good. They're not great. They are who they are. It is what it is. As Scott stated, when you really come back down to it, it's like, all right, can Buffalo beat Kansas City? That's what it comes down to again.
Once again.
If you really want to break it down, and then I'd say Denver are sort of that third team that I would look at right now.
Yeah. But I'm not buying into the Colts. I give all the credit in the world.
Colts, yeah.
I'm not a big Danny Nichols fan. I'm not. Eventually he's going to turn back into being Danny Nichols. But so not them. Could Houston turn things around? Maybe. But
I don't think he's going to collapse though, because they're not fully winning because of him. They're just actually good all around. right? They create turnovers.
He's not making mistakes. He's not making any mistakes, and that's something.
But they run the ball.
If he didn't make the mistakes with the Giants, he would have been good. It's the
but the Giants suck. But that wasn't his fault. The Giants suck. The Giants suck.
Yeah, but
the Giants sucked when he was there.
Waiting to happen.
But everybody, but he was trying to make plays, though.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, in-game live continues here on the grid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. 5th worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins. They have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, did you see Juan Soto's great season?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll
He's
tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Nah, stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that game.
Ricky Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
Guys, need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 1. So Jacksonville, 2 possessions. They punted again. Kansas City now has the football. So the good news is it's still 8.5 minutes left to go. We've had 3 possessions, and sometimes that can take up an entire quarter. So no points, but at least you still have half a quarter to go. Mahomes has 50 yards passing, 5 of 6. Not too bad. Kelsey with 2 receptions for 15. Pacheco 1 for 4. My guy Thornton 1 for 24. And then for Jacksonville, we got who do we got? Thomas has 1 for 12. All right, not too bad. Trevor Lawrence 1 of 3 for those 12 yards. So not exactly the great offensive showing that we were hoping for, at least not yet. 4.5 is the number. Was 3.5 to start the game, but the Chiefs have the ball, and the over/under is down to 41.5 from the 45.5 it was to start the game. And in baseball, Dodgers 4-1. 4-1. Phillies scored bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, and they do have a runner on first with 1 out. Emmett Sheehan is on the hill right now for the Dodgers. But I knew this football game. I always cringe when I see the Chiefs are playing on prime time. They're a boring team, right? They sort of grind out these wins, and the Jags are just the Jags, right? The Jags look good against bad teams. I know they beat the Niners last week, but the Niners are missing half their team. And they won that football game, but the Jags are the Jags. Let's call it off what it is. It's been a pretty bad start to this football game. Punt. Right? Let's be real.
Yeah. Our 27-21 needs a little help right now. Let's put it that way. But Kansas City's got it their own 39. So it's at least halfway decent field position. Once you get that
moved
first
the ball.
Score,
Jacksonville has not. At least KC moved the ball in midfield before they had to punt, right? Jacksonville are just basically going 3 and out, or They got one first down, I guess.
Here's the problem, Gabe, with Jacksonville, too, is you're not going to beat Kansas City in a close game, right? We all know that. Things just happen to go Kansas City's way in these close games. So you got to jump out on top. You've had 2 possessions. You're at home. First Monday night game, you said it, 11 years?
You got the ball first, too.
You got the ball first. Yeah, you don't have a first down. You got one first down. You got one first down. You got to do better than that. This is your chance to shine. Right. Kansas City is going to take over second half.
As the game goes on, they get better.
Yeah. So they're blowing the Jaguars. They really are. So we'll see what Kansas City does.
Well, KC has to do something, right? They've got to take advantage of Jacksonville's slow offensive start, and they are right now. In fact, big run for Pacheco. They're inside the Jacksonville 40-yard line right now. So the Chiefs are on the move. And with Butker, they're basically in the field goal range right now. So they should be putting a minimum 3 on the board.
You're right about Worthy. They gave him the ball, too, on one of the plays. Like, they do run him. If you get a Worthy rushing prop.
He usually rushes the ball twice a game. He usually, that's, if you look back, they like to get him the ball like twice a game, which is smart. We talk about a lot of teams that don't use their star players, right? Say, how come Malik Neighbors only has 3 targets and he doesn't have the ball? Or how come Jefferson isn't being targeted?
Yeah.
You're allowed to just hand the ball off to them, guys. You don't have to repeatedly just ignore them, right? Yeah. You're allowed, like, on a little jet sweep type move. Like, they're very smart. Let's get Worthy the football in his hands a couple of times a game on the ground.
Yeah. It doesn't, Gabe, it doesn't take a lot to be a smart coach compared to a bad or a mediocre coach. Just like, I always go back. I was covering the Jets when they had Keyshawn Johnson, in his book, Give Me the Damn Ball, which, he was a bit of a dope, but I get the principles. Like, I buy into it. Like, yeah, he's one of your best wide receivers. You don't have to throw it to him 20 yards down the field. The idea is get him the ball in open field. So if it's like a little pitch reverse like they just did, you're giving him a 15, 20-yard head start run. I mean, it's just common sense that these head coaches don't seem to do.
If you look, Scott, at championship, look at championship caliber teams. So a good example was Tom Brady. I heard Tom Brady once say that he was talking about the Patriots playbook. And he said, we only really run 12 plays. And he goes, we have variations of the 12 plays, but we really only have 12 plays. And he goes, we can go on different sides. And he goes, he was just talking about their playbook isn't complicated. If you look at the Kansas City Chiefs over the years, it's very simple football. Drop back, get rid of it quickly, spread everybody out, play good defense. Like, there's nothing, it's not like, it's this complicated playbook. No. Like, Patrick Mahomes doesn't even throw the ball down the field very much. If you look at his average over his career, it's a lot of quick hits, open guys, just get it into open space and let the guys run with the yards after the catch. Simple football. You look at college football. Michigan won the championship a couple of years ago by running the ball all the time. Throwing on third down every now and then. Ohio State right now, the defending champion. They're not a flashy team, Scott, Ohio State. They run the ball, they throw a couple of bombs. Like, there's nothing fancy. It's not like, the Chip Kelly complicated or like this. And you'll notice the bad teams, Scott, they're always the ones with these coordinators that has this big playbook. And then you always hear them say, well, the player's still learning his playbook. His playbook. Greg Romans has 300 run plays in his playbook. Well, too bad not one of them works. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the best team, Scott, look, the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFL. What's complicated about the Eagles? They play rugby. They hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley. They basically push, just shove down the field. There's nothing complicated about what the Eagles do at all. Like, seriously, there's nothing. Like a school child, you can explain, like, the variation of the Eagle playbook, right? Hand it to Saquon Barkley or have Jalen roll out and throw it down the field. Like, there's nothing complicated about it, but it's always the bad teams that have these stupid, like, big, tricky playbooks.
That's why people used to get so frustrated with Travis Kelce. This is going to sound crazy, but you know how I mean. It's all some slow white guy. How's he always open, right? How many times have people said that when he was in his heyday? Like, how is Travis Kelce getting open? Because you just want to
because he would just find that soft spot, 6 yards
just
right
find
there.
a soft spot.
Yeah,
yeah,
right there.
A team
Nothing
that
fancy.
plays strictly zone defense will never be Kansas City. Just never be Kansas City because that's.
But he's getting older now. You're right. So, but you're bang on about that. He would just spot up like a basketball center in front of you too, right? Because he had that size. But who I would use as an example is sort of like Adam Gase. I don't dispute that Adam Gase is a smart guy and has a bunch of good plays, but he's one of those guys that like gives this complicated playbook to players. They can't do it, and he does it anyways. Yeah. Right? Like coaches that don't adapt. I hate when I hear a coach say the play call was good, but they didn't execute it. Well, you should have known your guy can't do that. Look what the Raiders right now, Scott. I talked about it 2 weeks ago when they were on TV. Geno Smith is not a good deep down the field passer. Right? He's a quick hit, West Coast style, get rid of the ball quickly type guy. The Raiders having him throw the ball like he's a drop back passer. He leads the league with 9 interceptions already. Yeah. You're asking him to do something he can't do. Like, I blame Pete Carroll and the coaching staff for that more than I blame Geno.
Yeah, that was horrible yesterday. It's been horrible for them. They won their opening game against New England, right? On the road, good win. And you think, okay, they're going to be a halfway decent team. Man, they've been worse, from one spot to the next. So, Kansas City first and goal. Look at this. Down to
they got a big...
Thornton. They're throwing to Thornton a lot more.
Man. Thornton's their deep guy. Thornton catches like one bomb a game. Yeah, we should have played him. I should have played him. He really does, even with Worthy back. And his props are always light because people kind of forget about Thornton. But he's good for like 1 or 2 bombs a game. Like when they throw a bomb, they throw it to Thornton.
Right. All right, so what do we got? Worthy 9-1 for first touchdown, right? So we're in play here.
Oh, that's probably going to be Kareem Hunt here.
Yeah, I know. When they get Rice back, this team is
going to be scary.
3 wideouts. Then all of a sudden, like the Hunt Pacheco combination, which now is like whatever. Now all of a sudden, it's like, oh, they got Pacheco, they got Hunt. All of a sudden, the outlook of these players.
Yeah, and now Smith-Schuster's going to be wide open all the time because everyone's got to worry about Rice and Worthy now, right? It's a domino effect. Everyone gets better suddenly. You saw that last week. Everybody suddenly got better with Worthy. Now you'll throw Rice in there. It's going to make everyone else better again.
First and goal, Casey's laying 7.5 and over under is 42.5. So quick little break.
Give me an end around a Worthy.
As usual, as usual, they'll probably get a score when we're in break. It's amazing.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. 5th worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins, who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, did you see Juan Soto's great season?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll
He's
tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So we have a third. I see a touchdown.
I think it's coming back, Scott.
Third down.
There's a flag. No, they're calling it a touchdown. I was going to say, only the Chiefs get away with this crap. Watch the replay. So Kelsey scores the touchdown. We don't have him as the first touchdown score. Old man Kelsey scores the touchdown. Look at the play though. Like they called a flag and they picked it up. You see, and I've seen this called for less, Scott. It was a pick. Like basically Smith-Schuster got in the way of a player, but he didn't block him. You're not allowed doing that. Like,
right.
He picked like a basketball play. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a fine line of what you can and can't do.
It was enough to call the flag, but Mr. Mahomes got in the referee's faces and they picked it up.
Yeah. I mean,
they threw the flag. So
the guy threw the flag.
If you throw the flag, and we all know if a referee instinct is their instinct. I threw the flag.
Right.
My instinct was that's a penalty. Why did and how rare is it, Scott, that they pick up flags in the NFL? Very rarely.
Not often.
Very rarely. Even if they know it's a mistake, their ego doesn't allow it. Like, you know what I mean? Like in baseball, at least they'll say, hey, listen, you was safe and you were wrong. And they'll actually do it. Do you see it now, Scott? That's a penalty what he did. That's a penalty what he did.
You can't, and even you could see him kind of like stiffen
up. He deliberately did it. He wasn't accidental. He deliberately got in the guy's way. That's like blocking. Like that's an illegal contact on the offense type thing. Dude, it was enough for the ref to throw the damn flag, but Mahomes came over and started bitching at them, and they picked it up.
That's unbelievable. Not only don't I have Kelsey, the guy I'm playing in my fantasy league has Kelsey. I'm in trouble with a 12-point lead. That's good coaching, right? I mean, there is a fine line. You can't run into a guy and block them clearly. He didn't do that, but he ran into his path, and he just stopped right in front of him, and you could see him kind of like stiffen up because he knew he was going to get hit, so he lowered his shoulder just a tad. I mean, that's what I said earlier, Gabe, about Jacksonville. You can't, you know the brakes are gonna go Kansas City's way. They always do. I'm tired of yelling and screaming about it because it's just is what it is. They get
the NFL.
These brakes, they never go against their way. Never.
The NFL has become the NBA in that way, and it really wasn't. It wasn't like that before, as much, but now it really is. Like the star players get preferential treatment. They do. Yeah. The star teams, the championship caliber teams, they get preferential treatment. The Philadelphia Eagles earlier in the year, they were blatantly offside on that tush-push. They didn't call it. They decided the game, right? It decided the game. They were lined up offside. They didn't call it. And then you'll notice, like if you watch, they don't let the Panthers get away with things or the Titans, right? They'll call everything. And you look at the star quarterbacks. I say this, I'm a Bills fan. Josh Allen has the most penalties for late hits and stuff. Like if you touch him, you get a call. Like you will get a penalty if you touch Josh Allen. You touch Mahomes, you will get a penalty. Right? There is special treatment in the NFL now. The Chiefs are a good example. The Chiefs line up offside every play, number one. They line up offside often. Remember it got called? It got called once and they got all upset. How dare you call us? We're offside all the time, but you never call it. It's like you kind of just admitted you're offside all the time, right? When Tony was offside against the Bills, it cost him the game.
Yeah.
So, no, the wide receiver, he scored, but he lined up offside. But Kansas City basically teach their guys to line up offside because their thought process is they don't call it. And even if they call it once, it's worth it to be offside every time, right? You'll notice the Seahawks started out with Pete Carroll, Scott, with just pass interfere on every play. Literally.
Right.
Grab the jersey on every play. They will not call 50 penalties on us. They won't. Yeah. And it's like, let them call a couple. Don't worry about it. We won't get mad. Because we're going to get away with a lot more by doing this all the time. And other teams have caught on to this right now. But it's only like sort of good teams that figure that stuff out. That let's just push the envelope. And like on that play, Scott, very subjective. Could have been a penalty, but they got away with it.
Yeah. And you think about it, listen, this is big time conspiracy, but, it's like the NBA. Do I think, David Stern, the old days, would call the officials and say, we want Michael Jordan to win? No. But they know who butters their bread, right? So think about the AFC right now. You got Baltimore that's 1-4 going nowhere. You got Houston that's 2-3 going nowhere. You got Cincinnati that's 2-3 that's going absolutely nowhere. You got the Raiders are 1-4, public team going nowhere. Chargers look like they're going to be a mediocre team. They need, point being, Kansas City to do well. So do they want Kansas City
they don't,
to fall to 2-3 as well? So I don't think they're calling them up and saying, okay, we need the Chiefs to win tonight. But it's common sense kind of takes over the thinking.
No, I don't agree. I think the NHL cares who's in the Stanley Cup Finals. I think baseball cares to a certain degree, right? I don't think they want the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series because they're going to lose a lot of revenue due to American television. They'll lose 50% of their market, right? So they don't like that. That's a fact.
Yeah.
The Super Bowl, Scott, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, seriously, the Akron Zips could be in the Super Bowl, and it's going to get 95 million people. Like, every year, the Super Bowl numbers go up. It doesn't matter who's in the game, right? Whether it's like a smaller market in Cincinnati,
right.
Or look, Kansas City's not a big market, Scott. It's not a huge television market. Like, if the NFL wanted to rig things, they'd be like, well, let's make sure the New York Giants or Jets are good. Right, but they're not.
No, but they need Kansas City. Like, the Kansas City's on national TV a gazillion times. It's literally every week. So you're right about the Super Bowl. You could have to peak a high in there.
But the NFL is too big to fail. The NFL is too big to fail. Like, they don't need. They don't need star teams.
They do get the breaks. I mean, that's undeniable. Whether it's legit, orchestrated, it's just, I want to see one bad call just once in my lifetime, have a call go against them. Jaguars do have it down at the Kansas City 29.
That time that they were offside against the Bills, it cost them a big regular season game against the Bills, but good teams get away with things. It's just reality.
Yeah. All right, in-game live game day continues here on the grid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. 5th worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins, who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, did you see Juan Soto's great season?
The Early Line. only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like, I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So they completed one quarter. Jacksonville is threatening. They got it inside the 10-yard line. I do believe it's 7-0 Kansas City, though. So we'll keep you posted on that. Just the updated numbers, just to let you know. Second and goal, from the 7. It's Jacksonville getting 5.5, which I'm a little surprised. There's only 3.5 to start the game, and they're driving. So, inside the 10-yard line. Over-under is 45.5. The baseball game, 4-1, heading to the bottom of the ninth inning. Dodgers lead the Philadelphia Phillies, minus 60-1. You think the Phillies are going to come back? It's 14-1. And then our second game starts top of the hour. Cubs and Milwaukee Brewers. Ashby, a reliever, is starting for the Brewers. Imanaga going for the Chicago Cubs. Brewers minus 136, and the Cubbies plus 116, over under 7.5. What do you like in that one?
I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers again. As you mentioned off the top of the program, the Brewers are going basically with a bullpen game today, but they're good at it. They've done this before. They used to do it in the old days. They were one, after the Rays started all of this with Madden. Remember, Council was big on this as well. So the Brewers have a history of this. To me, it goes two ways. It's very difficult for the opposing team when you're changing a pitcher every couple innings because you have fresh arms coming in all the time. Hitters like to get used to a pitcher's stuff and get into a groove as the game goes on, and they can't because they have a new pitcher coming in. And then all the time, it's like, what's the scouting report on this guy? And then, every time you're at bat, you have a new scouting report in your head, right? And they're very adamant about that stuff. And they're going to tell these guys with each guy, listen, this is his pitch. And they're in the same division, so they kind of know each other. But it's tough. On the flip side of that, it's like playing blackjack. And you're playing 6-7 hands in a row, man, right? And you're sending 5-6 guys out there. What are the chances, are pretty good that one of them is not going to be on top of his game, right? So it's a risky game to play, but Imamagas, guys, he's been hit over it's been fascinating actually to see because he's a good pitcher, but the long ball has been a big problem for him. He's given up 15 home runs in his last 9 games. And he's given up 1 or more home runs in 9 straight starts. So it's not like just, he gave up a bunch in one game or something like that. No. The long ball has been a big problem for him. So I think Milwaukee are going to be able to get to him, to be honest. So give me Milwaukee to win the baseball game. Give me Contreras to hit a home run tonight at it's plus 395 or so. It's nearly plus 400. He's got 2 home runs, actually, this year against him. And give me Christian Yelich to go over 1.5 total bases. And we're getting plus 150 with Yelich, guys. Nice price for Yelich over total bases.
Yeah. Imanaga, he's given up 3 runs or more in 7 of his last 8 starts. And the one he
look
did
at the home runs he's given up.
4 innings. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
What?
1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, he's really not pitched well for the last month and a half. His numbers are, they are what they are. They're not great anyway.
That's why I'm not playing the under tonight.
3.73. Yeah.
I've got the under of this Dodger game, but I'm not playing the under of the Cubs game tonight. Yeah.
Here's, if you like to follow lines, as I do, Aaron Ashby, right? He's a reliever. He usually goes about an inning, sometimes 2. They're actually giving you, here's strike 1 on betting his under. They're actually giving you a strikeout total, which is rare when you go bullpen by committee because they know he's going to go 1 inning. They posted that 2.5. It was minus 2.5, or it was minus 2-1, Gabe, at under 2.5 strikeouts. It's flipped. It's still 2.5, but it's come all the way on the other side. It's now even money. This afternoon, under 2.5 strikeouts for
I did
Ashby.
see it at minus 210.
2
yeah.
to 1. Now it's
Yeah,
even
it was.
money on FanDuel.
I think
you
the
want to bet
thought
a hunch he gets
process
3
is
strikeouts? He's an over
Well, I think the
strikeout
thought-
inning guy, too.
the thought process is that he's going to pitch more than 1 inning. And I do believe he'll pitch more than 1 inning. I think ideally, in a perfect world, they could get 3 out of him, but I think he goes 2. Right? If he goes 3 and he goes quickly, like they don't want, put it this way, nobody will see him twice. That's the thing, right? Nobody will see him twice. Like, so go through the order once. That's potentially 9 hitters, guys. Right? If he's smooth, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, they'll get him out of there. My guess is Scotty pitches 2 innings.
Ugh. They just screwed up a tush push. Oh, Jacksonville.
See?
Wow. Did he not
I always
score?
tell people, how come people don't copy it? It's not as easy as it looks.
Now, there's a fine. Boy, it's going to be close if they call that a touchdown. I still think the Mope yesterday scored a touchdown, the guy who dropped the ball. But, all right, so, yeah, interesting on the Ashby numbers because they were begging to take the under. Now, I wonder. I think he gets 3 when everything's said and done.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. 5th worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, you see Juan Soto's great season.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that game.
Ricky Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on the grid. Hour number 2. Got a decent football game going on. Kansas City, Jacksonville, 7-0. As the Jags just had turned the ball over on a botched, basically tush.
Yeah, but here come the Phillies,
tried to go
Scott.
over the top. Uh-oh.
Here come the Phillies right now. We got a 4-3 baseball game right now. In the bottom of the 9th inning, so we've got a real one going on here right now.
And nobody out with a runner on second base. They entered the bottom of the 9th inning with a 4-1 lead. Wow.
Yeah, this series could really, really change quickly here, depending on how this plays out. Dodgers are challenging a play at second base. He looks out to me. Castellanos is at second base right now. Like you said, there's nobody out, so this is pretty big right now. They're looking on the screen. I don't know. People in the stadium seem to think that he's safe. It's pretty close. It's one of those frustrating plays, too. if you're the Dodgers, because the ball was there first, but I think he missed the tag. Yeah, I think he's safe. He's safe. This is where the review comes into play, guys, because in old baseball, basically, they would have called him out even if he was safe there. They would have said, the ball was there so much, and you're out. Like, that's just the way it was in the old days, but he beat him and his stupid oven mitt, beat the tag. He's going to be safe.
Wow.
Dodgers are about to lose this challenge.
Wow. Let's bring in Sean Higgs, winnersandwhiners.com. Sean, what's going on, my friend? You got a little baseball action tonight or just on the NFL?
You know what? I did like the Phillies, but I didn't end up pulling the trigger on them. I figured they have to win this game. You lose this one, the series is over, right? You're going to LA down 0-2. I don't think you're coming back. You hadn't been hitting the ball at all. You're down, whatever. It was 4-0 earlier, 4-1, whatever. No, they need this like people need air. I mean, this is a huge swing of the series. This is will make it a series, right? I mean, good for them battling back. They had done nothing. They had done nothing coming into this inning.
Why is Blake Trinan in the game? That's what
he's real
say.
safe.
And
that's what I don't understand either, because the whole point was to keep these people out of the game. They brought in Emmett Sheehan before. You figure go with another vet here. They're taking him out, but Trinan's been a disaster all year. I have no idea why Trinan is in the game right now. He's coming out now. He's got pulled.
I know they were going to put, it's like, we're going to put Kershaw in the bullpen. Like, why would you, wouldn't you rather have Kershaw just like keeping his routine that he's had a Hall of Fame career and just let him go the first like 2 innings as an opener for somebody, as opposed to bringing him in out of the bullpen, a role he's not.
And the Chiefs just scored. Chiefs just scored. That was quick.
42. I think that's Thornton again. Man, I tell you what. They get him back.
14-0.
Yeah, Thornton. 14-0.
14-0 right now. Chiefs in complete control of this football game. And Patrick Mahomes, guys, 12 of 14. 12 of 14, guys, for 162 yards already. We played his over 261 or 258.5, whatever it was. We played his over passing yard props. I brought it up before the game and said, guys, the Jags have a problem stopping the pass. They do. So you see Mahomes already up to $162 right now. And Mahomes with a rushing touchdown as well.
Yeah,
Mahomes with a rushing touchdown. So Travis Kelce caught the first pass, and now Mahomes just ran it in for 9 yards. 9-yard touchdown. Patrick Mahomes.
And a Juju anytime touchdown. Not looking.
Who are you on in this game, Sean? I'm on the Chiefs.
I got the Jags at 3.5. I saw the 3.5, and like a dummy, I took it because most times I'll be on a favorite at 3.5 or 7.5. But I took it because I thought, you know what? Everybody's going to be talking about KC running it up on the Ravens and who have the Jags beat. You beat backup quarterbacks. You lose to Cincinnati with a backup quarterback. No respect for him. So I was like, I'll take a shot with him here at home. It's like a Super Bowl for them. Huge game. But that doesn't look good. Looks like they're going to lose this one probably something along the lines of, 27 to 9 or some crap, the way it looks like it's going tonight.
You want to double
get
down,
it to
get 14.5?
I need 39 points.
Let's make it 34-10. We'll make it 34-10 for you. Yeah, 34-10.
Thank you. What about the Brewers and the Cubs game coming up here?
Yeah.
I like the Brewers. Listen, this Brewer team, zero respect. I know you're a Dodger guy, but this team gets zero respect, and all they do is just win every series, come out and win games with.
No, I agree with you. They're underpriced every game. They were only minus 125 in this series. They were like the best team in baseball. They're minus 125 in the series only.
I got them last night at minus 117. I'm like, I got it. They won 100 game, whatever they won this year. Like, they just find ways to win, and it's a lineup of like nobody. Like, all right, Christian Yelich and a couple of young guys, but there's no huge sexy name. Like, there's no Betts or Ohtani or Judge or even like Jose Rodriguez or whoever. Like, there's no who's their big guy. Yelich, he hasn't been good in years to put up numbers like these other guys. It's just a team that wins games. Listen, I want to see Seattle and the Brewers in the World Series. That's what I want to see. I want to see two teams that just kind of grind it out.
Hold on. Update. Big defense by the Dodgers. Big defense by the Dodgers. They bunted. So they bring in Vesia to pitch. There's a runner on second. Philadelphia bunts to try to sacrifice the runner over to third. The Dodgers played crazy good defense on this, and they threw them out at third base. Now the Phillies are challenging. Everybody challenges everything now. He's out. Like, I don't know what they're challenging. Like, there's no disputing this. Yeah, look at this guy say. They bunted, and really nice defense. Muncy fielded the bunt, and Mookie Betts, like, took over at third base and came in. It was pretty close, though, to be honest. Again, these guys, like, baseball players, man, you guys got to get more aggressive with tagging. Like, but same thing. Betts was there first with the ball in his glove, but it ended up being close. Like, because he sort of didn't reach out. Like, these players, you can't wait anymore, guys.
Yeah, you see that shoulder, for goodness sake.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like, lean in here, Mookie. Yeah, like,
you can't tag him high, Mook. What are you doing? He was out by 1.5 miles. I mean, he was out by 6 feet. And
he's still out, but it was a lot closer than it had to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, whoa, dude. Like, come on, Mookie. Don't just stand there. Like,
you slow it down. They slow everything down, makes it look a lot more interesting than it actually is.
Yeah, but just put
pretty close.
Put the glove on the ground.
I hate replay.
I guess he thought he was going to get run over. Ooh, he just nicked his leg.
I know. That was a big play there,
man. If he doesn't hit that first leg, I'm not a big fan of that stuff. If the throw beats you, you're out. I'm one of those guys. I'm old school. Just like, I can't worry about, am I really tagging you? You're coming at me with 2 cleats high. I'm worried about, you cobbing me here, and I got to worry about actually.
Well, remember the old days, Scott. Yeah, you were out. I remember, Sean and Scott. Remember the shortstop, the second baseman didn't even step on the bag on double plays.
Yeah, step over the bag.
Yeah. Catch the ball right around the bag, and no one would say anything about it. Yeah. Now with this video, it's like, oh, look, like our stolen bases, like when they come off the bag for a second. Like that never happened before either. They were like, no, he's safe. You can't do that. Who cares?
But that was looked at as, you know what? You're near the bag. We're not trying to get guys' legs broken, tibias destroyed. You're close enough. You know you're out. It is what it is. I don't want this. You guys want this robo umpires? I'm despising robo umpires.
No, I don't.
Unless I want it. If we're doing robo umpires, I want to see old school letters to knees strike zone.
Well, that's better. That better
be the strike zone.
That's the debate.
That's going to be the problem. You're not going to get any runs.
What's the real strike zone?
These guys are going to be strike. Yeah.
And we all know it's not letters to the knees. They never give you a letter strike. That's too high. They don't give it to you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Look what Sean Hagan did.
They barely give you the knees.
Yeah. Hold on a lot. We'll talk for more with Sean when we come back.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
What worries me, for the future, for the rest of this season for the 49ers is Christian McCaffrey, because all these other guys are out. This guy is getting more workload than anybody else in the NFL. The catches, the carries, the blocking, the chip blocks, the protection. He is just being worked over, and I don't think that is, real good for the 49ers.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
getting a lot of optimism here, which I don't know about. This isn't a 21-year-old football player, a devastating knee injury that basically blew, the kneecap and also multiple ligaments. And I was like, surgery, awesome, be back for next year. He might be back for next year, but the Tyreek Hill we're used to, Joe, electric on the field where nobody can catch him. People are going to be catching him now, Joe.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe checking the action with our good buddy Sean Higgs from winnersandwhiners.com. So we got two things going on here. We got the bottom of the ninth inning, 4-3. Dodgers leading 2 out, but the Phillies have runners on first and third. And then we got the football game, 14-0. Jacksonville is driving a little bit. They got it at the Kansas City 34-yard line after they fell behind 14-0. So the over-under on that one is 13.5. So where you want to go, Sean? You got more confidence in Jacksonville coming back or your Philadelphia bet cashing in?
I think I like Trey Turner, so I like to see Philly here just because I want to see a good series. You go down 0-2 and go down like this, throwing everything online. I don't think
I looked it up.
Well,
there have been 90 series.
Yeah, what's the percentage?
90 series, a little pop quiz. There have been 90 series in which the team has led 2 games to none. How many times do you think the team that was down 2-0 out of 90 came back and won, Sean?
30.
I'll say 5. 5.
Yeah, Gabe, you're closer. 10 only. Only 10 out of 90. I mean, it's not like down 3-0.
Scott, I saw it was 70% after 1 game, so I'm not surprised that it was after 2.
Well,
when I said when I
want to see a good series, I don't want to be down 0-2. The reaction was, nope, that's an error. That's a
Sasaki gets Trey Turner. The Los Angeles Dodgers win 4-3. It wasn't pretty.
Nice.
It was a ground ball. Freeman fell off of first base catching the ball. It wasn't pretty. Like Edmund threw it so cautiously, he one-hopped it. Like Edmund was so much I don't want to screw this up, and he kind of, you can tell Edmund pushed it kind of, and it one-hopped, and Freeman had a hard time with it. God, that was close. Freeman fell down and held on to the ball and held on to the tag.
Steve Saxer gets it done.
Well, I don't understand why would you bring out Blake Trinan? You're not playing tomorrow, so you get a day off in between games.
Yeah, just roll out.
Game 1. Doesn't make any sense.
Cubby Homer. A Cubby Homer. 3-0.
Oh my God.
Wow, a 3 spot.
I saw the play.
Oh.
Wow.
I should have taken the over this game. I said earlier, I don't like the under of this game.
Yeah.
And we just hit the under of the Dodger-Philly game for the record, but I figured there was going to be runs tonight, and I don't know, Scott, that Ashby prop strikeouts, he might not last 2-3 innings now at this rate. 3-0.
He might not get out. Wow.
The question is, though, listen, I already bet the Brewers, so I hate double betting, you know what I mean? I'm already on the Brewers. They haven't batted yet, so I don't want to panic, but you are getting plus 2.5 with the Brewers right now. And
that's not bad.
You're getting plus 240 on the money line, and the total is now 10.5. I think I'm going to jump in on the 10.5. I have a feeling, guys, this is going to turn into one of these 10-5 or 8-6 type games. I think there's going to be runs tonight in this one.
Doesn't seem like a 7-5 affair.
Yeah. I mean, Imanaga has not pitched well, Sean. Gabe gave his numbers out. I mean, he hasn't pitched awful, but he's given up 3 runs in 5 innings. He's been hittable over the last month and a half. So to think the Brewers aren't going to put up a fight here.
15 home runs in his last 9 starts he's given up.
It's amazing. They're only giving us plus 240 on the money line. So down 3-0. That's normally like 5 or 6 to 1. So
it goes to show, though, they're expecting the Brewers to get back in this. That's why I like that over.
Right. Yeah. 10.5 is the number now. I don't think they're going to get 11 runs, but that's still. All right. So 3-run homer for the Cubbies. They lead 3-0. Wow. Did our Jaguars score? They got it to 14. Chewing up clock. It suited good for our over Brian Thomas, 57, 56, whatever it was, yards. Down 14-0, right? You figure they're going to be throwing the football. Let me see what they got.
Trevor Lawrence is just taking off and running all over the place right now. You know, I think he's probably hit his rushing prop the last couple scampers he's had.
Well, he can't throw
it. He has 34 yards rushing. Yeah, I didn't see what his number was, but I'm sure it wasn't higher than that.
Yeah.
He's got more carries than ETN. He's got 6 carries. Amazing. Thomas still has those 2 receptions for 34 only. So he's not
I was going to play his under 33.5 pass attempts tonight. But the fact that they're falling behind in this game obviously will change things a little bit. But the coach Cohen is starting to catch on that he's not very good. Like, they don't throw the ball very much. Like I said, he's only completing 59% of his passes, 31st in the NFL. He's got a 5.9 yard average, which is like 26th in the NFL. His QBR rating is like 22nd in the NFL. Like, he's not. They're like, the Jags are 3-1, but it's not because of Trevor Lawrence. I'll put it that way. Like, they're changing the offense a lot and kind of getting away from throwing the ball because they don't trust him to throw the football. So they run the ball a lot, this team.
Yeah. Take out the one game against Cincinnati. It's he's thrown for 174, 178, and 222 yards.
Yeah. That's pedestrian for NFL.
$40 million. Yeah, $40 million a year for that.
I would have kept Mac Jones.
Wow. Yeah, the way Mac Jones has played. Man, that's just.
I wouldn't have given him all that money. That's the problem. Every time the quarterback his contract is up, he gets paid big money, whether he deserves it or not. Yeah.
That's the
they
thing.
Should have told Lawrence. They should have told Lawrence, listen, we're not giving you like the $7,250,000. Like, we're not giving you a Josh Allen contract.
Touchdown.
We'll go 3 years and see if you get better type of deal. But it is what it is. That's the modern NFL.
Yeah.
What scored?
Hold on, I don't know what scored here. Trevor Lawrence passed to Washington, whoever the hell that is. Not my guy.
Yeah,
a lot of fantasy players are upset it's not Brian Thomas Jr. right now.
Parker Washington with the touchdown. All right, so the over-under is back in it. Assuming they hit this extra point, it'll be 14-7.
At least for the teaser's alive. You know what? It's 46.5 now. I'm surprised about that it's that high. Consider we're at 21. Well, I guess, listen, the Chiefs are getting the ball now with it. They're going to have a chance here. Like, there's 2.5 minutes left, and, they basically have the 2.5 minutes here. So, 2-minute offense, chance for the Chiefs to put points up on the board. And, they're going to be wanting to put points up on the board. And the Chiefs get the ball to start the second half, too.
Yeah. Pick up these website winners and whiners.com. Go ahead. Thanks, Sean.
There, fellas.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
and $41 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. Fifth worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, did you see Juan Soto's great season?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll
He's
tell you
in on
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live Game Day here on the grid. So 1 of 3 in the books. Dodgers beat the Brewers beat the Phillies 4-3. So, by the way, not only is it 80-10 teams that lose or win, depending how you want to look at it. The best of 5 playoff series in baseball. If you win the first 2, you win 80 of the 90. It's only happened if you lose the first 2 at home, Philadelphia 2 times. So the Phillies are really up against it. Cubs though trying to even up the series. They lead. What do we got? Let me guess.
Dodgers.
That's...
Yamamoto's going for the Dodgers. That's the thing with the Dodgers, Scott. Every game, it's like, oh my God. Like now it's Yamamoto. Like it doesn't let up with the pitching. Like, you know what I mean? Like
20-1.
You went from Ohtani to Snell to I'm talking about the game. Philly is TBD as well. Who's pitching for the Phillies? I don't know. Yamamoto's pitching for the Dodgers. Dodgers are listed as -158 favorites right now. Wednesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Wow. FanDuel's got the Dodgers 12-1. Phillies plus 810.
Wow.
It's only happened 10 times and only twice if you're the home team losing the first 2. So
what are the Dodgers? And the Dodgers now are down to +175 to win the World Series.
Wow. And they were plus 550 to start the postseason, which I thought was crazy. That's the highest number I saw all season long. And now they're the odds-on favorite after a couple wins.
Plus 175. Wow. Blue Jays plus 350. Mariners plus 650. Brewers plus 650. Tigers 9-1. Cubs 10-1. And Yankees 13. Phillies 22-1.
How about that? Let's see what our good buddy Brady Cannon has. Brady, a SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time, obviously, here on the grid. What's going on, Brady? How are you tonight?
Great time of year. Week 6, ending week 5 in the NFL, and, of course, kicking off the postseason in baseball. Love this stuff. The Dodgers, man, we've kind of heard that narrative throughout the weekend that they flipped a switch. Here they are. And you talked about it, Gabe, this, just keep rolling out another arm that is absolutely one to be feared. And that wasn't really the case not that long ago because of injuries and everything. I mean, Snell only came back, a couple months ago or so. But, now they have a pretty darn good looking rotation, especially when you're looking at condensed series. I'm really surprised that Philly's down 0-2 at home. I bet on them today. I thought they would even it up. I think the Mariners look real tough. I would really love a Dodgers-Mariners World Series. Of course, I'm biased to the West Coast, but I kind of have a feeling that those are the best 2 teams right now.
I'm going to say Toronto and L.A. personally right now, Brady. I think the Blue Jays will beat the Mariners. I just sort of get the feeling that the Blue Jays are rocking for real right now. Like if Vlad Jr. is doing what he's going to do, if he's doing this, and the Blue Jays have good pitching as well. So they have a good home field advantage. There's sort of that vibe. I've always got the feeling, though, that Toronto and Seattle are on a collision course in the American League.
Yeah. I think they both have a lot going for them right now. Maybe Seattle has the edge with pitching. Maybe Toronto has the edge with hitting. The one thing for Seattle is they haven't been there in a long time. And that can be a tough situation, too, because it's a little bit new for a lot of these guys on that club.
Never been in the World Series.
Right.
In franchise history.
Right. And you wonder if that moment is maybe a little much, but they absolutely have the club. I think they have, what is the most important thing this time of year? Certainly pitching is high on the list. And they've got it not only in the starting rotation, but in the bullpen as well. And they've got power at the plate. And you can argue that Toronto does too, but I kind of like the Seattle lineup better. Is there anything better than the Dodgers? The Dodgers bullpen, that's the one Achilles heel they have. It feels to me like the Dodgers and the Phillies are the best team in the National League. I don't know, whoever comes out of this Milwaukee Cubs series, it doesn't seem to me like they have a chance.
Yeah. Dodgers are minus 170 to win the National League. Minus 170.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would agree. That might be a discount.
I was going to say, do you give the Yankees or Phillies any chance down 2-0?
A little bit. I think sometimes it helps to get now the Yankees are returning home, so that's interesting. I think for Philly, it could actually help for them to kind of get out of town, get out from under the spotlight and that pressure of being at home. I wouldn't be surprised if they won Game 3 at all.
All right, we got some football here. They're at the 2-minute warning. In fact, they just started the 2-minute warning. Kansas City leading it with the ball 14-7. Take a break from back to get ready to put on the game right here on the grid.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. 5th worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as this tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins, who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, did you see Juan Soto's great season?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like, I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll
He's
tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe talking to our good buddy Brady Cannon, SportsGrid host. And just like that, the Brewers have tied up the Cubs. Wow, 6 runs in the first inning, 3 by the Cubs. Brewers answer for 3 of their own. Vaughn a 3-run blast after Suzuki hit a 3-run shot for the Cubbies, and it's 3-3. Wow.
We said that 10.5 was light.
Yeah.
It was 10.5. This game was going to turn into a track meet. Yeah. There were plus 2.5 runs, plus 240 on the money line. And we talked about it before the game with the home run struggles This is the 10th game in a row he's given up a home run right now. 16th home run in his last 10 starts. That's incredible. Like, that's amazing how he's just getting rocked like this right now. So, yeah, that in-game total is at 12.5 right now, which you could argue is still kind of light. We're already at 6 runs right now, and we just ended the first inning, and we've got 6. So the in-game total is 12.5 now.
Yeah. All right. Kansas City goes, I don't know if it was 3 and out, but they punted the ball. Jacksonville got it. They didn't do anything. They were inside their own 10-yard line. So they are at the half. It's 14-7 Kansas City over the Jags. Just to give the numbers before we go back to Brady here. 14-7, 6.5 is Kansas City favorite. Over under 43.5. So Brady, what'd you have earlier, to start the game? And then what you've seen so far, is that made you jump ship at all?
Yeah, I wish Jacksonville would have scored on that possession when they went for it on 4th and goal and got stuffed there. They were able to come back and get one, but we might have a tie ball game right now if they were able to punch that first attempt in. So I'm a little disappointed with that. I do have a ticket in pocket on the Jags at +3.5. And I felt that hook was, it's always very important, especially if you're betting the underdog. I made the number 2.5. I'm not all that impressed with the Chiefs, haven't been so far this season. I know they started out playing some very good teams in the Chargers and the Eagles, but, then they finally got a win, got their, second win of the season over the Baltimore Ravens. And what does that really mean of anything at this point? I mean, we saw what the Ravens are yesterday. Now, obviously, they have some great talent on that team, but most of it's injured and is not in the lineup. And I know Lamar was there for that Chiefs game, but again, they haven't really shown much of anything, this Ravens, especially the defense. And then you also have this situation, I'm sure you guys are aware, a home underdog that wins outright, which the Chiefs were, so the market wasn't giving them much respect, not even favoring them at Arrowhead against the Ravens. They win outright as a home dog. Now they go into the role of road favorite. That is typically a bad recipe in that follow-up game. So I almost automatically took the Jaguars at 3.5, which I thought was a good number. I expected it, again, to be more like 2.5 or 3. There were a lot of 3s in the market before this game kicked off. I think we're still going to get there. I still have a lot of faith that Jacksonville, the Chiefs, they're famous for not covering numbers. They win games. They don't cover spreads. I think that hook is a big deal here. It wasn't that long ago that you could have got 9.5 in game and 7.5 even before the break. Now 6.5, again, I think 3.5 is enough. 6.5, is not a great number, but I still think this game's going to get a lot closer before we're done.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on the over/under 43.5 right now, or any props that you may like?
I'd probably play over, guys. I thought there was going to be another score in the last 2.5 minutes there by either Kansas City or Jacksonville. I thought somebody would at least get a field goal, but good defense on both sides. And the offenses, I think the Chiefs' offense looks a little bit more efficient than Jacksonville does, but I would expect this thing to go back and forth. I think these teams are both pretty decent. I don't know if either one of them is going to go to the Super Bowl. It might be the first time in a while that we haven't seen Patrick Mahomes and company, even in the postseason. Who knows? We'll see. But I think they're both pretty good teams. Jacksonville coming off of a win over San Francisco. And I think this Liam Cohen is going to stick around for a while. I think he's doing well with this club. So I think we're going to trade punches here for a minute in the second half. And I would be wanting to go over rather than under.
Looking at some player props here, it's always fascinating to see some of the receiving yard props of wide receivers in which they're so low. You only really need another catch to get there. So a good example, guys, is Thornton, Scott and Brady. Thornton's got 90 yards on the game after the big catch. His prop is 93.5. So it's, in other words, will he catch another ball? Right?
Right.
I'm looking at Schuster here. Schuster's got 8 yards. His total is 17.5. Same thing. Will he catch, 1 or 2 more balls to go over his number? How about Xavier Worthy? Minus 1 yard. Minus 1 yard. His prop is 22.5 now, Scott. We both liked him over 59.5. It's 22.5 now.
I love Schuster, Gabe. I think he's been the under-the-radar
Schuster
guy.
Player.
I think he's been the guy that Mahomes has really relied upon, while some of these guys have been injured. Now, I know Worthy's back in the lineup. He's still not 100%, but Schuster, I think, has been a little bit of a security blanket and kind of that that unknown that we don't, you're obviously, Kelsey and Worthy's, the highlight reel guy. Schuster's kind of that, high percentage possession receiver, a little bit longer in the tooth, an older guy that we don't expect so much out of anymore. And I don't think the market expects so much out of him anymore. I think that's a pretty good play on him to get over 17.5. I wouldn't be surprised if he got to 30 or 40 yards before we're done.
I'll take a look at the Jags here.
Go ahead. Yeah. I'm going
to look at the Jag guys.
Yeah, Thomas needs 30 more. He's got 47. I think they're going to be throwing, right? But he only lists one wide receiver. FanDuel only lists, you maybe show more. There's more down there. Yeah, Parker Washington.
Is Travis Hunter even in this football game? I know he's got 12 yards, so he's got 12, but
yeah.
So Travis Hunter, his prop is 29.5 right now.
The Chiefs don't have much of a running game. Jacksonville's good against the run. So, yeah, I think you're going to see both of these guys.
Washington is the guy. I would say Washington, guys. Because, look, Travis Hunter's at 12 yards. You need another 18 from him. That's kind of significant. That's a couple of plays or a big play.
That's a couple, yeah.
Looking at Parker Washington, guys, he's at 16 yards right now, but the prop is 22.5. 7-yard catch wins us the bet.
I like him and Schuster. I don't think you're asking a whole lot. It's one catch for each of them, and I think they get more than one catch apiece.
Probably won't matter, but FanDuel's got him, Gabe, at 17.5. Parker Washington.
Wow.
2
really?
yards.
So he's at 16. Yeah, we saw they throw it to him. They just threw a touchdown to him. So clearly they're not going to be scared to throw it to him.
Yeah. I like that. I like that one. What's the reaction, Brady, about the bloodbath yesterday with all the Survivor Pool players?
The Survivor, Arizona.
Oh, God.
Boy.
It's another one of those Survivor seasons. 75% of the Circa Survivor Pool is gone after 5 weeks, including myself and, our football contest show that runs on SportsGrid on the weekends. We started with 3 entries. We lost 1 entry last week on the Chargers, losing to the Giants. We came into this week with 2 entries left. We had 1 on the Cardinals and 1 on the Bills. Tough way to go, man. And, the Bills played a lousy game. They lose. That stuff happens. But the Cardinals was bad. I mean, this guy that dropped the football, that is such a disgusting play. They not only would they have won the game, they would have covered the spread. I mean, they led 21-6 in the fourth quarter. And what
I thought it was a wrap.
Oh, crazy. So, we'll go chase $18.7 million again next year.
Yeah, it's amazing. It looks so easy going in. It's all fun. Oh, yeah, let's do one of these things, right? Then it's just somehow or another finding a way to win just one game. Just one game.
Well, what's tough about Circa, too, is, it would have been real easy to use the Lions. But with Circa, you have to save teams for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and the Lions play on both of those holidays. So we didn't use them, and we got burned.
Yeah, that kind of stinks. I don't like that rule. I really don't. It's hard.
Saving teams never works out. People never survive, right? Yeah,
You're right.
The greatest. The road to hell was paved with good intentions, as the saying goes.
Yeah. Ray, good job, man. Appreciate it. A couple minutes. We'll do it again soon.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circa Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
$141 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. Fifth worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as his tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins, who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, you see Juan Soto's great season.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like, I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Nah, stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Again, thanks to Brady Cannon for joining us there, as he always does on Mondays and Thursdays at the half, reviewing the things. Once another example of how no doubt FanDuel does listen to our program, knock on wood. They bumped the Parker Washington line game up to what you had. It's now 24
I was just thinking I was getting screwed, Wetzel, at 22.5 to your 17.5. I just put it in during the break. I was like, can't believe I'm getting 22.5. Wetzel tells me it's 17.5. But they moved it, huh? See, they were like, oh, Morency's right. We better move the number. This ain't right.
Yeah, and it was 16.5. It was literally just a half a yard. Then it bumped to 17.5, and I said, okay, that's still fine. What's the difference, right? But now it's 24.5. So even that's basically one catch, right? 9 yards.
That's more of a case of people, not the book listening to us, Scott, but that's more of a case of other people spotting it, and as well, out of the thousands of viewers and all the different apps and all the different things that we're on, a couple of people said, oh, that's a good bet, right? So FanDuel's getting hit with a bunch of Washington bets, and their computer algorithm just said, oh, we got this wrong, bump it up, right? I'm surprised, though. There is really a difference with these props between Bet365, MGM, and FanDuel.
Yeah,
and tomorrow hockey is starting, so we'll compare it tomorrow when the hockey season starts. And I'll tell you guys one thing: FanDuel FanDuel don't pay me a cent, so I do whatever. I'm just calling it like it is. FanDuel is very good for hockey bettors. They have soft hockey lines compared to other books, right? Like their prices are better. Like I don't, you know what I mean? I don't think they have enough hockey bets that they care. Type of deal, like you always get a little bit more with them, like it seems with FanDuel. Like some of the other books have more hockey bettors. Like Bet365, Scott, has a lot of people that bet hockey, right? Bet365 is a big book in Canada and globally as well, right? Bet365 is the biggest sports book in the world. So they have a lot of Europeans that bet too, and they bet hockey. So the lines are sharp. Like they know, like I'll just be real. FanDuel has a lot of Americans, a lot of new bettors that don't really know what they're doing when it comes to hockey. So their FanDuel's not getting sliced and diced in the same way that some other sports books do with the pucks.
Yeah. So it should be live. Interesting. They got 3 games tomorrow, 4 on Wednesday, and then it really kind of almost everyone anyway, is playing on Thursday. So, but Gabe and I will throw out a whole bunch of season props and our predictions and everything tomorrow. First game actually is 6 o'clock.
I've got 2 for tomorrow, actually, Scott. Just not for the game so much. I'll give my take for the games before we're done, but only like for season point players, I do like 2 of the team's season futures that play tomorrow against each other, incidentally, in the first game up. I think it's an early game, too. It's like 5 Eastern or something like that.
Chicago, Florida?
Yes, sir. Chicago. The Chicago Blackhawks are taking on the Florida Panthers. So Barkov is out for the year. Kachuk is out for most of the year. He's coming back late regular season only. They've played in 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, right? They lost the first time. They've just won 2 in a row right now. It's a lot of hockey that these guys have played, like hundreds and hundreds of games, like 350 games or whatever. Like it's a lot of freaking hockey. You throw in the Olympics this year, it's going to catch up to them. Like Kachuk is already hurt. Barkov's one of their best players. He's out. 100.5 points is too high. They're not going to get there in a tough division. They'll still make the playoffs, but they're not going to get 101 points, I don't think. So give me the Panthers under 101.5, 100.5 under. And the Chicago Blackhawks had 61 points last year. They were terrible. They only won 10 home games. Their prop this year is 67.5. I think they're better this year, Scott. I don't think they're good better, but they only need to win 3.5 more games. Win 3 games or a couple of losses in a shootout and get a couple of more points. They've gone younger. They had Bedard and a bunch of vets. It didn't work. It was stupid. It was like you got to draft young players around him, not just have these sort of beaten down vets. Now they just sort of said, all right, they finally are rebuilding. They're like, all right, let's just play the kids. And the kids actually started to play better as the year went on last year. So give me the Blackhawks over 68 points. Their total is 67.5. Blackhawks over 68. And the Florida Panthers under 100.5.
Yeah, I like that Panthers one. I really do. It's tough. These seasons are so long. And then you throw in, you said it, 4 or 3 straight Stanley Cup finals, winning 2 of them, obviously. That's a lot of hockey. They're as deep as anyone can be. I get that. But, they only had 98
And in a
points
division,
last
Scott,
year.
they're an older team, too. So that's the thing with the Panthers. They don't have a lot of young guys to sort of carry the weight. They're a veteran-laden team. Brad Marchand's in the world, you know what I mean? Like, they have older dudes. And look at the division that they play in. Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be really good this year. Like, take the Lightning point total over. So the Lightning are really good. Toronto Maple Leafs don't have Mitch Marner anymore, but they'll still be good, and there'll be a different sort of look to them. But the Leafs aren't going anywhere. The Leafs are a playoff team that are like a 100-point caliber team. The Montreal Canadiens are greatly improved, Scott. Their point total is 90.5. Like, people are expecting the Canadiens to be good. You throw in the Boston Bruins, who, people have sort of written off, but they're still the Boston Bruins. The Ottawa Senators are good, Scott. Like, that's a tough division, man, for the Panthers. And they have a big target on their back now. They're 2-time Stanley Cup champions, and they talk a lot. They're an annoying bunch, right? So everybody hates them and is going to want to take them down.
Yeah, we saw the brawl. I don't know if you caught the brawl.
Yeah, you saw it
against
preseason.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa was letting them know, we don't like you, and we're going to fight. Yeah.
Yeah. So
you see that they had 6 guys in a penalty box in a preseason game. They couldn't even sit. There was 3 guys squeezed in sitting, and the other guys were standing. It was like they were on a packed bus in New Jersey trying to go through the Lincoln Tunnel. I know it all too well. Yeah. Your face all pressed up against the glass. You got all these people against you. That was the penalty box the other night. Yeah, the Lightning and the Panthers, they really don't like each other. And the Lightning are going to be good, and the Lightning are healthy right now. The Panthers, Scott, they'll just sort of have to get by, you know what I mean? Get into the playoffs and then try to turn it up a notch. But I don't think they'll have a great regular season.
Yeah, it's not easy getting 100-plus points. So you got to have a desire to get that. So unless, they're battling for a playoff spot, which they could be, that would be the only way. But otherwise, I think they'll be, calling off the dogs a little bit as much because they know that they can win on the road. They don't need the home ice advantage. They don't. So no reason to kill yourself. KC got the ball first. They did not score. Jaguars actually got the ball now. A lot of possessions in this game. It's still 13 minutes and change left to go. Sometimes we have 2 or 3 possessions tops for a quarter, where we're getting 4 or 5 tonight. So good job by the Jags defense. Stopped Kansas City in a 2-minute warning drill, which is not easy to do, and then they stopped it coming out of halftime. So 14-7. We'll check all the lines when we come back in Game Live.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
60,000 drunk New Yorkers who were there from 5 in the morning to 7 p.m., who dropped a house mortgage on a ticket to watch the United States team miss every putt that they can possibly miss, and you think someone's not going to get pissed off and curse people out? Wah! The golf fan wasn't civil. Wah!
The Craig Carton Show. only on SportsGrid.
$341 million of payroll. Best record in Major League Baseball through June 12th. Fifth worst record after that. They would have made the playoffs, as this tweet says, because why? They just needed a win on Sunday versus Miami, and they couldn't beat the Marlins, who have like a $50 million payroll. The Metropolitans are out, but hey guys, you see Juan Soto's great season.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Not betting wise, action wise. Like I got to watch this game at 12.
I want to see Notre Dame, Arkansas. I want to see.
He's in, people. He's in.
I'll
He's
tell you
in
another
Notre
game.
Dame.
It's under. I want to see Duke and Syracuse at 12:45.
Nobody wants to see that game.
Nah, stop.
I mean, there's people that we know that would like that game, but we don't want to watch that game. You know what I mean? We're not watching any of that
Ricky
game.
Collins?
Big
Ricky Collins?
game Saturday, Joe.
Okay,
I need your focus back for this. It's the SEC. It just means more.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Hi, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So 14-7, they've just started the second half. Kansas City 3 and out, which you don't see too often. How many times Kansas City's got the ball to close out the first half in a 2-minute situation and not score, and then get the ball to start the second half and not score as well. So Jags defense doing a halfway decent job. Like I said, a lot of possessions here. So Mahomes, just to give you some numbers, 15 of 19 for 172 yards. With one touchdown pass and one touchdown run. So fantasy players got to be happy with that. Other than that.
Big play for Lawrence. And is this a Travis Hunter sighting? We were saying about Hunter, he was at 12 yards only. The prop was 29 and a half at the half. This is like a 60, 70-yard catch type thing. They threw a bomb down the field, and he came down with it. Nice catch from Hunter. I'll give him credit for it. Because I don't think he's a great wide receiver, Scott. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. There was too much hype about him, this two-way thing. It's like, all right, did you actually watch him at Colorado? Like, it wasn't like he was running these great routes or anything like that. They would literally throw him a screen pass and he would take off and run down the sideline. He is very fast, and he does have good hands, right? So that's the thing. Like a lot of DBs. But don't forget, he was the number one ranked defensive back coming out of high school. He wasn't the number one ranked wide receiver, Scott. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just sort of said, all right, he's a great athlete. We're short on talent here at Colorado. Let's see, put him on the field here on offense too. I thought in the NFL that it would be kind of like, not like, not as smooth as people thought, but give him credit. That was a big time play right there for him.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of them taking him. Like I always said, would you take him number 2 overall based on his defensive back abilities? And if the answer is no, then I wouldn't be drafting him, because I just figured sooner or later the agent is going to get to him and say, no, kid, you know what? You're playing 2 positions and they're only paying you for 1 salary. And that's not going to change for the first 5 years of your career. That's, you're going to shorten your career
it's harder,
and not get anything for it.
It's harder to find a top-tier defensive back than it is a wide receiver. Right? So I'm surprised, too, that they don't focus more. That they don't focus more on him being a defensive player. Yeah. Look, Rex Ryan says a lot of things, and, sometimes he's right, sometimes he isn't. But Rex basically was very adamant against it. He said, yeah, he's going to make a few plays for you on offense, but you'll have an average wide receiver and an average DB instead of having an elite DB. And I remember Julius Peppers at Michigan. So Julius Peppers also played 2 ways at Michigan, guys, right? Yeah. Same thing. And I'll never forget, I heard somebody told me, and it was like a football coach somewhere, he goes, Harbaugh kind of screwed that up. And I said, what do you mean? I said, isn't Peppers great? He goes, nah, he's not really great on either side of the ball because he plays both. And they said he just should be a safety. He's a safety. And you got him doing all this stuff, and he's not really great at anything because he's doing everything at once. And that's what Rex Ryan said about Travis Hunter, was the same line. Some coaches really buy into that. That, you'll have an average guy at both positions. Ohtani's kind of the exception, right? Where he's actually good at it, at both.
Yeah. He's a freak, though, right? I mean, maybe these other guys are as well, but I remember that with Peppers. He's bounced around the league. He's been on a bunch of different teams, the Browns. He's not really,
But remember in college, he was one of those, oh, my God, type of guys, right? It was like, oh, my God, this guy can play offense. Remember, he returned kicks. He did it all, you know?
Yeah. They were comparing him to what's his face with Michigan. You know, the Heisman Trophy winner. No, the Heisman Trophy winner. Howard.
Oh, Charles Woodson. And Woodson, too.
Yeah,
Charles Woodson.
Yeah. So he kind of fit in that mold. He was going to be the next one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But he was a little bigger, too, right? He had that athletic look, too, right? So it was like, wow, this guy's an amazing athlete and stuff. He was good in the NFL. It wasn't like he was a bust guy. The guy's still, 8-year career, whatever. And Lawrence runs it into the end zone. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, he just got – he's bouncing around now a bit, but he's at the end. But touchdown, but I'm just stating, another two-way player. But Trevor Lawrence with a 10-yard touchdown rush. So, like I said, Scott, earlier about his pass yards, I didn't jump on it. Normally, I would, we're taking the quarterback that's down 14-0. He's really not a great passer, but give him credit. He knows it. He's contributing with his legs, which he has to do because he is a very good runner.
Yeah. Could have got them plus 14.5. So this is the one time I didn't double down. I normally put a little something aside, but it was going so bad for them. So with them plus 3.5,
your 27-21 is a possibility too. It's not. There's some stuff that would have to happen, but the score is a possibility. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like two field goals and a touchdown for one team and a touchdown for the other team equals 27-21.
Yeah, I did. Got a shot. Got a shot here. So 2.5 now. Kansas City still favored, obviously. The over/under is 47.5. So at least now we got some Kansas City props that are back in play here. Not that
we got a game,
score, but we got a game.
Been kind of boring.
Yeah, it really has. A lot of punts. Too many punts. All right, in-game live continues. Hour number 2 coming up next, or 3 actually.